What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and thank you for tuning in during this quarantine. I hope you're all staying inside and staying healthy. I, for one, need a haircut, but I mean, it is what it is. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I remade Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, and this video is going to be a little longer because I'm going to go in depth on how I made this beat using vegetable oil, a large pot, various utensils, barbecue sauce spreader, my own hands for the clap, and then the sink in my bathroom. If you guys haven't already checked it out, make sure to go to the link in the description to see me playing the full finished beat. And now let's jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to be using for this beat is the vegetable oil for the kick. And I'm going to show you guys the original video that I recorded and the sample that I got from that. So I did a few different takes to get that recording going. This is one of the takes that I ended up with. And what we're going to do here is we just want one of these as a kick. So I'm just going to chop one that's on the line. Let's go with this one. This one looks pretty good. And I'm just going to pencil in a few notes here just so we can play it. And so this doesn't really sound like a kick at all, maybe a little bit, but we can make it way better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this mixer area. If you listen to the kick in the song, it's kind of lacking some depth in the middle. So I took that as a note and I boosted the bass and the treble area of this really high. It gives it a slappy sound and then like a really deep bass feel to it. And so right away, it's already sounding more like a kick. I added on another EQ just to emphasize some of those parts even more. I add on reverb because it makes it sound like the kick's being played on a stage almost. And then sausage fattener to really make it punch. And so it looks like it's clipping right here, but sausage fattener brings it back down. And for those of you that don't know what it does, it basically destroys any song you want. All right, so that kick's just going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to play the E of 4 as well. So it's going to sound like this. Next up for this track is the snare. I'm just grabbing this 707 snare, and then it's just going to play on 2 and 4 or 3 if you're in 86 BPM. For the snare, the effects that I have on it are just an EQ, a compressor, and another EQ to cut a little bit of the highs just because it sounds a little bit more like the song. You could probably find a preset snare though that sounds just like the song. So here's a snare without any effects on it, and then here's with the EQs and compressor. I'm going to leave a little bit of space in these first 2 bars because that's going to be my intro. But this is what it's going to sound like with a kick and the snare together. Next up for the song is a clap. It's going to be on the E and the of 4 every 4 bars. And I'm just going to play this with my hands. I'll show you guys what I did right here. So again, for this clap, all you really have to do is cut one of these and take one of them out. And then you can delete the rest. That looks pretty good. And so I extended the ends just so it fits on the E and the of 4, as you can see right here. That way I can copy and paste it pretty easily. Now for this clap, I'm throwing a fruity chorus, and what that's going to do is it's going to sound like there's multiple claps playing or a little bit more sound overlapping on each other. If you just heard it right there. I'm throwing on a reverb because that's going to make it sound like you're playing in a dance hall and it's reflecting off all the walls. Oops. EQ to cut out some of those weird sounds and frequencies that I don't like. Love filters just because the clap in the song sounds like it's a little bit in the background. And what this kind of does is it puts on like a lo-fi frequency filter almost. And then I threw on a compressor just on the end of that with these settings. And this is going to be the beat with the veggie oil, the snare, and the clap so far. Next up is the hi-hat. I'm grabbing a groove closed hat that comes straight with the FL Studio pack. We're just going to be playing 8th notes, and then this is only going to be playing during the chorus of the mix that I made. All I'm putting on it is a parametric EQ, raise some of those highs, and then just a compressor just to get a little bit more action. Not a whole lot going on there though. Next up for the song is the bass. I'm grabbing Serum, and I looked at a lot of the other YouTube videos, and they're mostly using Serum for their synth, and I love using Serum. It's really easy to use compared to Harmor, which scares me just looking at. And so this is the synth that I have pulled up for that bass, but I'll just remake it real quick for you guys. When you load up Serum right away, this is what it's going to look like. We're going to want to make sure the oscillator B is on, the filter's on, and then the sub is on. And this is what it's going to sound like so far. Pretty annoying, pretty loud. I'm going to turn that down for you guys. And we're going to want one to be an octave lower. That way it adds some depth to it. Additionally, you can detune one of them, maybe just a little bit. And then I'm going to throw in a filter. Next, I'm going to go down to this envelope. And what you're going to want to do is right away go into the matrix tab and make sure you have 2 sources for envelope 2. We're going to go to the sub oscillator here and the sub oscillator level. And then we're also going to want to go to the filter and filter cutoff. And we're going to want to raise these just a little bit, okay? So you're going to want to make sure you go to envelope number 2 here, drag what's up here all the way down here. And basically it's going to start out really slappy and really synthy and then immediately follow this curve, cut out the high ends and go to a bass note. Make sure you have your matrix mapped right here and these turned up. And then right here, you're going to want to make sure that this cutoff, you can drag it with some sort of setting right here. So you want to drag it, make sure the cutoff is in the middle, but this blue line is over here. It's basically going to take your synth from that blue line and go all the way to the middle of the cutoff in terms of frequency. Make sure A, B is on, S is on, and this is what that's going to sound like. And so if you're watching the filter and the envelope, you can see it following that frequency path of how it's cutting it off in the envelope. And the last thing you want to do is make sure mono and legato are on, because that's going to make it smoother transitions through notes. And if you're playing a synth bass for this case, we want it to slide very easily in between notes. And so for the intro, I'm just going to be playing an F right here. Here's the bass during the chorus. You'll notice it's playing very legato and it's not going back up to that cutoff point after it starts playing. So I just copied and pasted that in, and then I have a little outro piece right here that I added in. Next up is the lead synth that we're gonna be playing during the chorus. And for this one, these are the settings that we're gonna be using, very similar to everything else. Here's the envelope. We have the default oscillators as well. And here is the matrix with the filter cutoff. And for the lead, we're actually layering it with another serum as well. I saw this in another YouTube video where we're just adding another serum on top of the original serum. That way during the chorus, the melody lead is sounding very full and it's playing multiple octaves at the same time. These are the notes that we're gonna play, and this is what the melody is gonna sound like for this song. For this melody, I have on free reverb just to add an environment and make sure it doesn't cut off right away. And then I have an EQ just to raise some of these highs right here. Now with those oscillators and everything else that we have on, this is what we have in the chorus so far. The last synth that we're grabbing is going to be this shape right here. Again, these are the settings. Here's the envelope, the filter, and then the matrix right here. During the intro, this is the chord that we're going to play. It looks like an F minor to me. And then during the chorus, this is the kind of chord melody that we're going to play to add more depth to that song. And I don't have any effects on this one either. And so this is what all three of those synths are going to sound like together. If you can't tell, it's really full. It's way more interesting than just having one lead synth or one lead melody. Next up, we need to add some transitions. Normally you would add like a suspended cymbal or a cymbal hit right here, but I'm going to use my sync. And here's the video I took of my sync. Now for that sample, all I really did was I dragged it into the playlist here, and then I just cut off the end. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add these automation clips of the sync volume. This way I don't have to get it perfectly when I was like turning the faucet on and off. I can just simulate that inside FL Studio. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in this EQ just to get rid of all those low ends, make it sound more like a cymbal. And it adds a better riser effect to the song. And then when you add on the volume automation clip by just clicking here, right clicking, create automation clip, this is what that's going to sound like. Starts from nothing. And I'm going to do that throughout the chorus and during the intro as well. So with the sync, this is what that intro is going to sound like. So you can see now that the song's kind of coming together. We have the intro area here, one part of the chorus, another chorus over here, and then time for a verse. So during the verse, I'm actually going to play these low arpeggiating type of notes with this mini synth plugin that comes directly with FL Studio. These are the notes that we're going to be playing with a mini synth. No effects on them right now. So in the mini synth, we're just grabbing this preset keys, dub drops, going to effects, making sure delay is off. And then you can fiddle around with like some other things like the envelope, but we don't really need that right now. Then I'm going to throw on the transient processor to make sure that the attack, the punchiness of these notes is really mitigated. That way it's kind of more legato like I did with that bass in the intro. Throwing on some reverb to give an environment, make it fill the room like usual, and then throwing on this EQ just get rid of some of those highs and some of those lows. And I'm going to put it right here in this verse, and this is what the verse is going to sound like so far. Next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to get rid of this low arpeggio during the second verse, and I'm going to add in the video of me playing the pot. So I dragged that video to playlist, cut one hit of the pot, and then this is what that's going to sound like. So with this pot, the big thing is you want to add reverb and an EQ. This is the reverb I'm adding, and then the EQ is going to up the middle, make it sound a little bit more like a cowbell. Sound goodizer, soft clipper, because why not? And now the last thing I'm going to add to this song is during this first verse, I'm going to be adding an 808, and I'm going to get rid of it during the second verse in exchange for this normal synth bass that I've been using. Now for this 808, I'm grabbing this F sub F. I can't pronounce it really. It's like a really good sub sounding 808. I'm going to throw it into an envelope, turn the hold up all the way, turn everything else down. That way, whatever I'm playing in the piano roll cuts off the second the note cuts off. Make sure you go here, cut it by itself. And since this 808 is tuned to an F, I'm going to be setting the root note of this to an F right here. These are the notes that we're going to be playing, but again, remember it's tuned to an F. The only effect I'm throwing on it here is sausage fattener to add some thickness and color. And here's that last piece, that verse finished. Alright guys, so that's everything that I did to remake this song. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play the veggie oil, the pot, the sink, whatever else was in between. Don't forget to check out the full finished cover of this song as well. It's like a minute long, link in the description again. Let me know what song you guys want me to do next, and I'll see you guys next time.